Okay. Hi, Brynne. So I just wanted to hear really everything about what you guys do to get new clients in the door for salon owners.
Yeah, absolutely. So at my Salon Concierge, the main things that we take off your plate is basically your full new client marketing funnel. So this is to attract new clients into the salon to book appointments. And we do this by number one, you have like a kind of discovery call with Jack, who's my brother, who really diagnoses and sees like, are we actually a good fit for your salon? Because some salons, they're just not at a place where they're ready for major growth. And that's probably why they're working with you actually is more of like the foundational, the numbers, the nitty gritty. And then once they're kind of at a really good place that they're able and willing to scale, that's a really great time that we kind of come in. So Jack has that conversation and he's very good at being like, hey, we would love to work with you right now, or hey, maybe right now isn't the time. And here are the 5 things that I would work on to get your business ready. So it's never like a high pressure situation because we really only want to collaborate with people who are going to be successful in the program, right? So that's number one. Then once that happens and it is a good match, you have a strategy call with me. And that's where I help break down, okay, who is your target market? What are we wanting to market for your salon? So if you're a curly specialty salon, your offer is going to look a little bit different than an extension focused salon or a hair health head spa type of salon or a color specialist, right? So they're going to have a little bit of a different model for what the offer is that we're creating.
Mhm.
And then once we decide together what that offer looks like, we then script all the ads. We tell you exactly what to film. If you want to hire an outside videographer, we help you match with a videographer in your area to actually do the filming. If not, no big deal because we give you exact instructions on exactly what we need you to film. And then my team does all of the editing. So you're not like editing anything. You don't have to have really any like previous knowledge. You just have to be good at following instructions. Um, you'll send us everything that you have, and then my team will build the ad, build a lead page that when the client actually clicks on the ad, that it's something branded and beautiful that comes up and explains what your salon is all about. And then we also build all of the automations in the back ends that are actually going to follow up with that client to help them to book.
So by that you mean like after an ad comes out and somebody engages with the ad, that you have now like a click series that will start to go through and give them
Yeah,
automations.
they'll get like text messages to their phone saying like, hey Nikki, I saw that you were interested in a haircut with us at Salon 554. I'd love to help answer any questions that you might have. And then I have a training session with your front desk team to show them exactly how to follow up with those people and get them to book an appointment. And then we have a lot of things in the background where we can actually tell, okay, how many of those people actually booked? How many people pre-booked their next appointment? So you can actually see the revenue attached to these new clients, which is really cool. We have like follow-up scripts, we have pre-booking scripts for your team. We have call scripts for your front desk to actually call those people. So we really try to take care of everything. The only thing that we don't do is the actual calling of the clients and doing the hair. That's your job, right? So, but that's pretty much a baseline of what we do when you work with us.
How often should you be running these campaigns? Monthly?
Yeah, so we don't lock anyone into a contract. We've done that before, and if it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit. And then we're both kind of forced into something that isn't working for either of us. So we actually run a model now that it's a love it or leave it for a month. So you try us for a month. And we're not, we always say, like, we're not here to do a 180 in your business in a month. Like, that wouldn't be a fair expectation for anyone. But if you see, like, hey, I really like working with these people, hey, I see some sort of upward trajectory, then we go on a month-to-month model. And most people see the most dramatic results in about 90 days. So we run ads are running 24/7, 365 for as long as you are with us. And it just depends on really how much room your salon has and how much openings your team has to fill those booked appointments kind of dictates how many ads we run and at what value and for how long. It really just depends on each salon and what their availability looks like.
Okay. Well, that's great. I mean, I think that so is that tough for some salon owners in the past to do things monthly? Is that like a really robust schedule or?
No. So really the biggest thing is the onboarding piece. Like the first 2 weeks of working with us are probably the most work because that's when we are getting all the footage from you, having, the onboarding call. We have the discovery call, onboarding call, and then a tech call with your team. So it's like 3 calls in about 2 weeks. So that's the most demanding. But then once we find something that's working in your market, I mean, for example, Salon 554, they've been running some of their campaigns for 6 months because they're still performing. And then every now and then their stylists send me new footage or they send new before and afters. We tweak things a little bit if we see things on the back end that aren't, that are maybe getting a little bit fatigued in that area. But if you live in a big city, for example, it takes a long time for everyone in that area who is your target market to see those ads. So it's not like we need new videos every week, right? It really just depends on your market, your offer, your area, and your ad budget that you're spending.
What if a business owner is scared to make videos about anything? Like, could you AI it or like what's happening?
So we try to lean out of AI because this is the thing. Most owners are scared to be on camera. So that means that if you're the one willing to be on camera, you're already ahead of 98% of your competition in your area because other people just aren't willing to do it, right? So what I always say is if it's not you as the owner, someone on your team as a spokesperson to be on camera is usually the best fit rather than going right to AI because AI is going to continue to improve and compound and get more and more and more real. But we're in a very human business. So to me, as pro AI as I am in a lot of areas, the human to human connection piece is still what I think separates going to a hair salon in general and having that experience versus some of our other experiences in our life that are going to continue to get more and more robotic, cold, etc. That to me, just values wise, is really important.
Right. Do you want to share about a budget range of what an owner should expect realistically for this kind of work?
Yeah, absolutely. So all depends on, and I hate when I go on sales calls and they're like, well, it depends on what you're looking for, but you also have to think about it like this. If a client's coming to you, you're going to quote them based on what they need and where they're starting from too. So if I have a black box dye that I did at home and I want to be platinum blonde, I'm going to be a different price, say, than somebody who came with level 7 natural hair who's Swedish and is going to lift beautifully and probably have no warm and is going to take you way less time and way less product, et cetera, et cetera. So I try to frame that in a way of like, you're not trying to scam the client. We're not trying to scam you. We literally just need to know where you are, where you're going, how many people are part of your team, et cetera, et cetera. So what we do like to say is that we start for our bucket is a monthly retainer. And then you have your ads budget bucket that you're paying directly into Meta, or if you choose to do Google later on, we introduce Google, TikTok, etc. This is a separate bucket over here. You have to be willing to spend at least $50 a day, so about $1,500 a month, for it to really make sense for a full salon.
For the ads budget.
Exactly, for the ads budget alone. Then for us, depending on we do work with a very small select group of independent stylists. So if they are like extension specialists, so they have a little bit of a higher ticket that it makes sense for them to do the program. That usually starts around $997 a month for the individual stylist, and then it just ranges, it goes up from there. And then for our full service salon, that starts about $1997 per month and goes up from there. And again, all those kind of
And that's the ads budget, Brynne, or
that's our spend.
Okay.
And then the $1,500 a month or whatever it is. So people usually start at $1,500, and then if they're getting really good results,
right,
they scale from there, because they know that if they put $1 in the machine and they get 5 back or 6 back, they're like, how many dollars in the machine can I put in to get back more? But that scales over time as we work together, and that makes sense for your business.
So after about 90 days of doing the work, setting it up, being consistent, at that point, how many new clients can they expect to get in? What is the average for a full service salon with like a team of 10 or 8?
Yep.
Or even a team of 5? What would be a realistic number?
So if they stick at the $50 a day budget, so that $1,500, they're looking anywhere between, on average across the board, 50 to 100 new clients a month. And then as they scale, like Salon 554, like Sarah is a great example, we're averaging almost 300 new clients a month for her, because she's able to scale her budget, because she's getting clients in return, and she's continuing to grow her team, and she has a pretty big team who has the availability. So again, it does depend, because if you're a salon that your team only has 20 to 30% availability in their book, you're going to be capped at that amount, right? But if you have a lot of green stylists who are building their book, you have a lot more room to grow and to book those appointments. So we can speak in averages. So between like that 50 to 100 per month is usually what we see. But again, if we have a stylist who's super green and they have the availability, sometimes even at a lower budget, they're able to take on way more clients, because by the sole fact that the salon has room in the schedule to do so.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's been some retention hits? Like if a stylist, I'm just curious, because I would imagine that if you're getting 300 new clients a month, even if a stylist has availability, there's not always a perfect match for those type of clients. Is there a matchability situation or a retention challenge that we could offset in the beginning, like from a coaching standpoint? How can we be better prepared for that?
Yeah, that's a great question, because that's our whole thing, is like, if you're just continuing to get new clients and then they're not coming back, you're just getting a quick cash grab, but you're not getting the lifetime value of the client, which is what most coaches would speak to regardless of what program you're running, right? Like, this is a relationship business.
Yeah.
So we have pre-booking scripts in our program. I always lean on, if they have a coach like you or a mentor or somebody that they're working with, to really dial down on. Our whole thing is we can market a restaurant, for example, right? And we can make it look amazing, and we can make it look exciting, and we can say, oh, you get a complimentary glass of wine at your first visit, right? But if they come and the waiter's rude, the food's cold, it's late, and it's wrong, they're probably not coming back, right? So it's like really showing up for those services that you're giving to the new clients, so that you don't, like, what I always coach to is like, picture as a stylist your perfect day behind the chair. It probably includes all of your clients that have been coming to you for years and years and years, because you're in the groove, you know who they are, you know what to expect, you know you're going to have great conversation. It probably very rarely includes a day that it's all new clients, because that's really stressful. So it behooves every stylist to retain and keep as many of those clients as possible, because it just also makes your life easier, that not every day you're coming into work is a brand new day that you have to all of a sudden figure out everything. So with ads in general, anytime you're reaching out to cold traffic, right? These are people that you didn't have a previous relationship with. They're not a referral, so they don't really know you. They're looking on your reviews. They're kind of, looking on your social media, seeing who you are, making the appointment. They're trying you out. They're going to be skeptical That is part of the game. Just like when we try out a new service, if we picture ourselves as the buyer, when I'm trying out a new service somewhere, I'm trying somewhere new, like I know what list I'm going through in my head. So if you can get ahead of that and combat that, you have a way better chance of having people stick around. The average that we see people retaining is between that 30 and 40% of people from their first visit actually pre-book their next visit, which is about industry standard, right? So if you can hit that and not put so much pressure on yourself to be like, I have to keep 100, you're never going to keep 100%. Whether they come from an ad, whether it's a referral, whether it's your sister, you know what I mean? Like you're never going to get 100%. So if you can aim for that between 30 to 50%, stretch it a little bit range, and prepare those salons to do that, they are usually in a really good position because that lifetime value just keeps growing from there. The avatar of the person who doesn't do well in this is they come to us and they're like, I'm on my last resort and I really just want to change my business and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, then this isn't for you, because we never want to be in a position where it's like we're doing anything as last resort. Like not one thing can be the thing, right, that changes everything. You need all little pieces, which I think you just beautifully touched on, in place as a flywheel effect of like, okay, I'm doing all the foundational things and now I can put gas on the fire and I can use my ad spend and the ads as getting as many eyes on how amazing we are as possible. But we want to attract the eyes when we're ready. And you're never going to be 100% ready, because that's a fallacy too. Because like, I think people sometimes discount how far along they really are. So there's some owners that I notice, they think they're in two camps. The owner that thinks that they're not ready, but they do have everything in place and they are such a great avatar, and they're like, oh, well, I still need to do this, this, and this. I'm like, no, you're ready. Like take the plunge. You have everything in place. Or there's the owner that thinks they're more ready than they are, and they're absolutely not ready for it. So I think we have a hard time of pinpointing sometimes a little bit of the self-awareness of where we are. So that's why I think a coach is really good too, to reflect back to you like, no, you have this, and this in place. It's time to ramp it up, versus maybe a coach that's like, hey, let's get your post-sales process tied in. Let's get your pre-booking numbers up. Let's get your greener stylists more prepared, because there's nothing worse than having the availability because you have all green stylists, getting them booked and they can't deliver the way that they're supposed to deliver.
Yeah.
Then you're having redos. And I'm getting calls saying these clients are shit. They're, bargain hunters. They want redos. And then they send me the photos, or they post, online the photos. And I'm like, well, that looks like shit. Like, if I was the client, I'd also want my money back. This looks bad. So you set up your green people for failure because you wanted to get them booked so quick because you were taking the time to train them and all the things. So I think you hit the nail on the head with that as well. Like, they need to be prepared to handle the clients and actually keep them.
One of the things that I almost always recommend is we have to really identify what are those greener stylists good at, and run the campaigns around that. So like, if it was just blow dries, don't run a balayage campaign if they're not good at balayage. Run a blow dry campaign, run a deep conditioning or back bar treatments campaign. Start there while you buy yourself a couple of months to train them on the other skills. Don't book a haircut campaign. Like, I know they're like, right, if they can't do the haircut, don't do the haircut campaign, right? Unless you do a campaign just for like, I believe in a haircut campaign for greener stylists if they want models to practice on and people are willing to be models for them, right? But otherwise, don't book something unless, right? So, you can design the campaigns around those skill sets. So really identifying what those skill sets are and what they love to do. It's not just, oh, I want more balayage clients. So.
Exactly. And I find too, like this is a little bit going into more of like the nature of the business in general, but I think it's an interesting point is like, yeah, a lot of the green stylists, they want the balayage, they want the lived in color, they want the everything. Do you know how many clients you need to have to fill your book if your clients are only coming in 2 to 3 times a year versus Nancy who's coming in every 4 weeks? That's a very big difference too. So like,
Right.
That's a whole other conversation for
Right.
newer stylists, but I think that that's interesting too, is like, yeah, we can market balayage all day long, it's higher ticket, etc., but your lifetime value of those clients might not be that much higher than the people for a gray coverage service.
That's right.
So like, and that's where like I go over that in the call with them too, is like, where are you actually making money, right? And like, do you have the team that can provide those services? And does it make sense for you to market those services? Because if you're going to make the most money from those services, you're going to get the highest return on your ad spend, and you're going to want to continue to invest until you have a clientele that feels elevated, lifted, you're booked. You only have maybe 10%, 20% room in your books, and you probably don't need us for a little while, or you're just running like maintenance campaigns just for like overall awareness in your community and not really driving the new clients.
I'm curious what your thoughts are on blogs. Like, I'll give you an example. Like this new perm technique for a young Gen Z boy right now is like this broccoli perm and haircut. It's like I'm using this as an example because it's kind of like a trend.
Yeah.
And so, you know, salons that have these, I have one salon in particular that has a senior stylist that loves to perm and loves to do men's haircuts, and she needs clients. I mean, she doesn't have clients in her book. And so I'm like, you need to do an entire series or a campaign around that one trend. So like honing in on that trend, like something like that, I think would be really, really important. I think a blog really supports it. I put the blog on the website to sort of get these keywords and people who are searching, because if you search Gen Z perms or broccoli perms, you might only see 5 or 6 informational tabs that they can click onto right now. And so to be ahead of that curve, I think is important. So stay on top of those trends and do that. And I think blogs can really help. I'm wondering what your opinion is around those.
Yeah, I think that they're good support. So anything that you can do to support the message that you're trying to get out there, to have it in as many different places as possible, is just like omnipresence, right? That's like what they call omnipresence in marketing. You're there all the time. Everyone, gonna see you at some point, and you're everywhere. So when people go to that place, they're like, oh, there they are again. Oh, there they are again, right? The blogs don't necessarily drive traffic unless you're 100% committed and you're like a blogger now. It can be a full-time job to actually get people to that traffic site. What we would say instead is, let's run an actual ad campaign around the broccoli perm, have a special for that person. She's posting on her organic socials all about why she's the expert in this.
Right.
We're running a paid campaign with her blog as part of that campaign. So when they click on it, it's all the information. Then they're saying, I'm interested in this. They see her Instagram on the page that we build, right? And it's showing her as the expert. So it's like all those pieces of the puzzle are together, but now we're putting money behind it. So people are actually seeing it. Because what's happening is, if people are actively searching, broccoli perm in, Boston, Massachusetts, right? They might hit a couple different things, but if we're actually coming to them in their screen with them scrolling, we have a lot more control of who actually sees what we have. And then all those things just support the fact that like, oh, they're clearly the expert because they have all these things around it. So it's not like a this or that, it's a both. And ads just are the amplifier microphone that makes sure that it's getting to the people that this is the most relevant for.
Right. And the blogs are just a support network of that, to give the information more in depth. And then the social medias are the organic, which is where I think stylists they have a hiccup, because that's where they should be focused on creating content. Like Let's get 3 models of young men that want broccoli perms, get some video content, get some testimonials, get some before and afters, and then now you can take that content and use it for the campaigns, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's not only in the paid, like with what we're blasting in their feed, because now that they clicked on it and they see you, now they're probably going to follow you. And now every time you continue to post about the broccoli perm, it's just reinforcing the belief for them, because there's the, adage in marketing that people have to see things 7 to 9 times before they actually make any move on it, which is still so true. It's like the biggest marketing, rule that never fails. So it's like all these things are just working together. And then when they go on the salon's Google page and there's all the reviews that says, Nikki did the best broccoli perm for my 13-year-old son, lacrosse player, the lacrosse team all wants to come in and get it done, whatever it is, then it's like, okay, now that review also is feedback. So it's like all these things, we call it the flywheel effect, because all of these things are working together in tandem, even though they feel like they are separate, they're not. Right.
I love it. And I think that a lot of people should hear this. So you guys, if you want to reach out to me or reach out to Brynne. And where can they find you?
They can go to mysalonconcierge.com. On that website, you can book a discovery call with Jack. Just let us know that Nikki sent you, because maybe you might get a little special gift or something like that, for Nikki referring you. And he'll have, it's usually like a 30-minute call. And like I said, he's really good at like not being gross sales guy. He's my brother, gross sales guy, and very much like
informational.
Diagnose your specific stuff. So
I love it. So I want to get,
it's a worthwhile call.
I would like to get you and your brother on a more formalized call, just to talk about marketing and all the things about this flywheel effect. I think we should actually make it a whole thing. I think people really should understand that. All right. Thank you.